Hello everyone, welcome to the Knife Skill Flipped Classroom. This is Song Shin and I will do my best to support you in studying knife skills. The Knife Skill Flipped Classroom starts with one of the essential questions: why do we learn knife skill in school? The answer I can give you right now is we needed to learn the language of the kitchen. So why should we learn the kitchen language? Because we need professional communication when we are working in the kitchen. That communication greatly helps the kitchen teamwork. For example, we know that saying make a julienne is more efficient than saying make a stick 2-inch long by 1/8 inch area, right? And that professional communication also help with the recipe writing and understanding. If a head chef write down a recipe that only he or she can understand, other chefs in the kitchen will have very hard time to understand the recipe. Conversely, if you don't know the language of a kitchen, you will spend a lot of time preparing food with the recipe. So, what is the kitchen language related to knife skill? Uh, this lists also agendas of this flip classroom. They are composition of knife and type of knife, and knife cut, yeah, traditional knife cut, and sharpen knife or knife sharpening. The purpose of this flipped classroom is to give you to basic knowledge of knife skill, but also to help you communicate in a professional language in the lab class or the place where you work. Okay, let's get started. The first theme is composition of the knife. As you know well, a knife is largely composed of a blade and a handle. The blade is a part that cuts your food, and the handle is a part you hold with your hand. But sometimes I hold the blade instead of a handle for trimming some vegetable, especially when I work with paring knife or petty knife, like a small knife. So if I have a chance, I will show you how in the in-person classroom on August 10th. The composition of the blade. The blade is divided into point, tip, edge, and heel, and then opposite side of edge is called spin. The point functions as a piercing tool. This point is very useful when trimming vegetable. That's why I'm holding blade uh, for using the point of blade. And this point is the end of a blade, so it easily get damaged or broken, so you have to pay attention. Next is the tip. The tip is the front quarter of the blade that does most of cutting and separating. The rounded tips are ideal for cutting or slicing thin portions. So personally, I use this tip more than edge when I cut food or especially vegetable. So with a tip, I can make a final adjustment than with the edge. The next is edge. The edge is the sharpened part of a knife blade that extend from the heel to the tip. I use edge mainly for the mincing or chopping ingredient. And next is heel. The heel is rear portion of the blade and is most often used to cut thick or tough product where more force is required. And last part of the blade is spin. The spin is the top of the blade, opposite side the edge. So I sometimes use the spin to crush or beat ingredients. So sometimes it's very useful to stone fish before fish fabrication. The next topic is the composition of the handle. The handle is divided into scales, butts, tongues, and pins or rivet. To be honest, those terms are not used very often unless you're in the situation where you need to make your knife or fix your knife. So the important thing about the handle is the size. If you use a knife that doesn't fit your hand well, you can easily get tired. Also, the handle should be always dry when you are working. So the handle spilling out over your hand can make a dangerous situation. The last part of composition of knife is bolster. The bolster is only found on funged knife. It is thick band of steel between the heel and the handle that help balance the knife and prevent the user's hand from slipping close the blade. Then, why do we need to know the composition of the kitchen knife? Knowing the part of a knife will help you understand the features you want in the kitchen. Knives come in many forms, but they use the same terminology. Also, knowing what to look for in each part of a knife can help you choosing a good knife. And in the future, you have the time to train your new staff. So I believe you don't want to say to your new staff like, you grab here and use here to cut. I hope you can say grab handle and use the blade to cut to your new staff. The following topic is types of knife. And the first knife is chef's knife. The chef's knife, also called the French knife, is all-purpose knife. So I can use the chef's knife as bread knife, slicer, fillet knife, and boning knife too. And next knife is slicer. The slicer has a long and thin blade that is ideal for cutting large food such as meat and poultry. And the blade may be rigid or flexible. I usually use a chef's knife for food preparation and a slice for service. The next knife is boning knife. Boning knife is a small knife with a thin angled blade and is used to remove bones from meat, fish, and poultry. Also can use to trim the fat from the meat. A fillet knife has a blade with a pointed tip, and the blade may be rigid or flexible. It is mainly used to flap fish. The next knife is a paring knife. The paring knife has a rigid blade that is only 2 to 4 inches long, and to pare means to trim off. It's French word. Next is turning knife. Turning knife is similar in size to paring knife. It has a curved blade that looks like a bird's beak. It is used to make a football-shaped vegetable. The last knife is butcher knife. The butcher knife has rigid blade whose tip curved up at a 25-degree angle. It is used to cut meat, poultry, and fish. It cut the meat and bone together. The purpose of knowing about the type of knife is not simply learning their name. If you're familiar with characteristics of each knife, you're a wise cook who can choose the right tool for the task at hand. Next is traditional knife cut. Here are three T-shaped knife cuts. The first is a fine julienne. Fine julienne is 1/16 inch square by 1 to 2 inches in length. Vegetables cut this way cook much faster, so julienne strips are often used in stir fries. They are also used as the decoration cut to garnish. And next is julienne. Julienne cut, it looks like a matchstick. It is often used for salad ingredients and green veggies like cucumbers, bell pepper, and zucchini. The words come from a soup of the same name, which is prepared with a thin strips of vegetable garnishing it. In French, potage julienne. Next cut is a bâtonnet. Bâtonnet is thick matchstick knife cut. The precise dimensions are the 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch and then roughly to 2 to 2.5 inch long. Bâtonnet cuts are perfect for a carrot stick and roasted vegetable and French fry too. So there are also good jumping off point for smaller cut like to julienne, the mines, or medium to small dice. Next shape is cube. The first cube is Brunoise. Brunoise is the smallest dice and one of my favorite. This is the julienne method cut down into tiny square. This dice is great for garnish and salad. I especially love this dice when preparing stir-fried rice or Korean egg roll. Brunoise cut vegetable can be used in the sauce too, such as tomato concasse. Also, aromatic garnish on the soup or consomme. This cut was repeated popularized in the Bruni Commune, which was 19 kilometers southeast of Paris. So its name, Brunoise, comes from Brunoise. Next is small dice. Small dice is 1/4 inch square. I like this cut, especially for soup, because you can fit several pieces of vegetable on the spoon. To make a small dice, first cut the vegetable in batonets, then gather the stick and cut into a quarter-inch square. Dicing is often used to make a mille-feuille, which is mixed with carrot, onion, and celery. And next dice is medium dice. The medium dice measure half inch by half inch by half inch. And it is smaller version of large dice. This is generally good choice when recipe doesn't specify the size of the dice. So when recipe said like dice tomato, it is good to go to make medium dice of tomato. And last dice is large dice. Large dice is a culinary knife cut measuring 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch and 3/4 inch. This square cut is most often used for vegetable like potato and sometimes fruit such as watermelon. The following is a cut in the shape of a slice. The first slice cut is lozenge. This cut is often used when slicing fruit or vegetable for decorative purpose. The word lozenge comes from Old French word lozenge, meaning diamond shape. Her next cut is roundel. Roundel cuts are also known as rounds. This straightforward knife cut yield pretty round vegetable slice that can be steamed, sauteed, roasted, or eaten raw. The last slice cut is paysan. Paysan cut vegetable may be either in square, triangles, circle, or half-round circle. In order to cut economically, the shape of the vegetable will determine the shape in which the vegetable should be cut. All the vegetables should be cut thin to width with about 1/8 inch. The last part of knife cut is the cut with unusual shape. So we will see tornado cut. The tornado cut, the word tornado is French for tons. So when you make tornado cut, you have to turn your ingredient with your guiding hands. And this cut can make with carrot, potatoes, or squash, and it provides a distinctive and consistent appearance to the food item being served. And next cut is oblique cut, also known as roll cut. It's type of knife cut where food such as carrots are cut to half-angled sides. It's made by holding the carrot with your anchor hand and the knife at the 45-degree angles, where you cut and then roll the carrot with half turn towards you. The reason you learn knife cut is to read recipe. If you don't know what knife cut means, you are just illiterate in the kitchen. And the recipe is a guide to the food being made in the kitchen, and following the recipe is very important to maintaining the taste of the food. The final topic is the knife sharpening. These two photos you see now are a microscope view of the blade. And this photo are telling you why you should keep your blade sharp. The reason you are not good at knife is not because you don't have a skill. It's probably because you use a non-sharp knife. The knife movement for cutting must be front to back or back to front, not up and down. For this knife movement, we have to keep the blade sharp. I will introduce 3 ways to sharpen a knife. The first is use a knife sharpening steel. First, grip your knife and edge down and hold the steel. And like this picture, cross them, place the knife blade against the steel at the 15 to 20 degree angle and pull the knife long and the entry length the steel. Repeat 3 to 5 times on both sides of the knife. So as the note said, start at the very back end of the knife, then pull through the front end of the knife tip. I think it is best to do right before you cut, because sharpening steel is used to continually keep edge of the knife blade straight. Sharpening steel is not suitable for sharpening your dull knife. And if your finger comes out of the sharpening steel handle, it is very dangerous, so be careful. The second way is to use a knife sharpener. Holding the handle of knife sharpener as shown in the picture, pull the knife through the hose slot of the sharpener from the heel to the tip. Using even press and do 3 to 6 times. But if you have a more damaged knife, you can do more and finish with 2 pulls or more through the fine grit side. The knife sharpener's advantage is very easy to do, and disadvantage is you cannot create the edge of blade you want. The last way is using whetstone, which is my favorite. And the first step, a very important step of using the whetstone, you have to put your whetstone in the water for at least 20 minutes before using. Because whetstone is too dry, so dried whetstone can make just a scratch on your blade. So you have to make the moisture whetstone for sharpening. And then place the whetstone onto the towel to do not slip, and hold your knife firmly and place your blade at an angle of approximately 20 degrees to the western or your want. And place even and gentle pressure on your knife and draw the blade along the stone front point to heel. And repeat as many times you want to be satisfied, then turn the knife over to repeat the same side. It's very important to repeat exactly same process on the other side of the knife. When the stone feels dry, just drop little bit of water on the whetstone. And then test your knife with a paper or some vegetable. And then also it's very important step to keep the whetstone flat. The whetstone should be flat all the time for the sharpening. So far we have learned composition of the knife, type of knife, and knife cut and sharpen knife. I have prepared a quiz to check your understanding, so please complete the quiz by midnight of August 8th. It's gonna be your part of grade. We also have a video assignment, so please check your Euron, and deadline is midnight of August 8th too. So your videos will be used as a valuable resource for determining class composition and group formation. So in the classroom on 10th of August, you will be checked your uniform. So please check your Euron. Then you can bring your cell phone for your daily journal. I really want to use good device for recording your day. So maybe you have to sanitize your cell phone when you enter the classroom on the day. You will have to print out the recipe for your performance assessment, or you can prepare notebook for decoration of your ratatouille. I hope you check out the lab production skill rubric on Euron, so you can understand the also part of your grade. I will look forward to seeing you on 10th of August. So, and I hope you will arrive at the lab classroom at 5:50, 10 minutes before class starts. And I also hope you will check everything on Euron. And if you have any question, please use Ask Chef, what can I do for you in Euron. Thank you very much again, and see you on 10th of August. Goodbye.